welcome to Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, President of Performance Strategies and Diane Bogino Development. Our guest today comes to us from Ljubljana, Slovenia. Simona Spilak is the founder of SimonaSpilak.com, an online coaching community. Over the past 20 years, Simona has helped thousands of clients transition careers, become entrepreneurs, and then scale their businesses rapidly. To handle the demand online, she created a successful team of 12 dedicated people for her one-on-one and mastermind coaching. On top of that, she runs her own consulting agency for major corporations, is a lecturer at the International Business Economics faculty, and is a professional speaker, frequently speaking at regional conferences throughout Europe. Simona lives with a deep passion for helping others so they can enjoy the same entrepreneurial freedom she loves. Simona, thank you for being on the show today. It's so good to see you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, because you have such a busy schedule right now too. And I want to tell our viewers to stay tuned till the end because you have a special offer. So we don't want them to miss that. So let's start. I want to ask you, you had worked in corporate for like 20 years and then you started your own business. Why did you do that?
That's, to make a long story short, I ended up my corporate career 5 years ago, and then I started my private business, which is like consulting and HR agency here face-to-face or remotely in Slovenia. And then this year I started as well my online business. So conquering that online world with coaching and career coaching, and of course helping a lot of professionals transitioning their careers or just building up or creating their dream career path. But anyway, why I've done it? From the same reason. I felt that everything is great. I had a good salary. I was like living in that golden cage in the corporate world and pharmaceutical industry for over 15 years, or in pharma. And then one day I just woke up and I had a feeling that there is something out there I would really like to accomplish, where I could share my knowledge and experience. And that's how I started to think about it. And then I had a help of one of my friends, and she was really like, you have a lot of experience and you have a great network. It would be good for you to start your own business. And to be honest, I was really afraid. I never ever thought that I will build my own business, but having that experience and a regional exposure and being really internationally present or having international roles, that helped me a lot to build a business in the executive search. Looking for C-level candidates or really like top executive positions, expert positions. And I was able to use that experience from the corporate. And then later on, of course, it's naturally developed into a consulting business, coaching business, and so on. So I'm really happy what I do today. And I believe that every single person should be really doing something what we not only love, but where we feel that we are really good at, and that with something what the world needs and what we can be paid for. So all in all.
Yeah. And do you talk about something on your website called the career roller coaster? Could you talk to our viewers about that a little bit?
Career roller coaster. Yeah, it was. I was really in that pharmaceutical business where I always had a regional roles, and it was so dynamic. I spent like 4 working days only at my home country, my home city. The rest I was traveling, and the roller coaster is not necessarily a negative perception, or I don't want to be like to sound like it's negative. It was really positive because there was like a lot of events going on, which created a lot of help for me and a lot of support for me to create that wonderful career. But as once as you are in that corporate business, it's so interesting that you have a lot of opportunities for development, for growth, but as well there is a lot of competition. So I always say that the corporate world is like a rat race, and then the entrepreneurship is like running that hamster wheel.
Yeah,
So
that's a good comparison.
it is, it's every single business or every single career, it offers us such a huge opportunity to develop, to meet wonderful people, to meet people from whom we can learn a lot. But on the other hand, it's as well a very competitive world. But on the other hand, what's the roller coaster as well is that variety of experiences, which are so wonderful as we as individuals decide to go our entrepreneurial path. So there is a lot of things which I'm grateful for, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to establish my company online and offline. And of course, dealing with all those different emotions, I believe that's what makes us stronger, makes us more mature, but as well, it creates the opportunity for us to share that with others. And then as soon as we have the desire to coach and to help, then we somehow translate it in serving others, help them taking that path, or helping them really be successful, either in the career path or corporate on the entrepreneurial. So that's why I somehow transitioned that roller coaster into a career strategy and of course, career development of my clients.
Speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about how people, or how you help people find support and passion in creating the career of their dreams.
Yeah, I am focused on experienced professionals and leaders who really want to build their dream career, or who want to be promoted really fast, or not even in the normal process of promotion which we have in corporate. So that's my primary area of work. But really what I do is really to help all those professionals and leaders to build the career of their dreams, and not only in the sense of talking about it, but creating a very concrete plan and taking that right kind of action. I believe it's really important for us to think about, to create a plan and then take action. If we don't take time to really commit time and our energy into planning, then we might run in a different ways and different directions. And doing so, we lose a lot of energy, and then we lose focus. And sometimes people do have that feeling that they are not successful, that they didn't succeed, that they can't do it, don't know how to do it. And that's where I step in and help with it. That's career strategy, but as well leadership coaching. Like it's a combination of both.
It leads me right into my next question, because you do give leaders a practical advice on developing leadership in business in the corporate world. So talk to us a little bit about that.
I believe it's very important that leaders seek the coaching support, because the higher we go in the ladder of being promoted, or in the ladder of leadership in corporate, the lonelier we are. Meaning that of course we have a team, that feeling, you're smiling. That feeling, you have a big team, or you have your leadership team, but of course it's your team, and of course those are your peers or direct reports. But on the other hand, you need that personal advice, and usually coaching leaders, it's about personal change, and how to make that huge change. It takes time, but it creates a huge impact in the organization, but as well our own development. And I love to say that coaching brings people from, let's say, from that level of denial, or not being able to accept things, into the phase of responsibility, accountability, ownership, but as well positive thinking and positive change. And that's how I understand coaching, being really solution focused, but as well helping leaders not only to understand the situation, but as well understand themselves. So I'm a true believer that we have to start with ourselves. And I always start with individual to be able to work on the team development or organizational development later on.
That's right. That self-assessment is so important, isn't it? So speaking of that, without giving away all your secrets, can you give us some leaders out there that might be listening, some ways to build a strong and engaged team? Of course, today it's very important, both remotely and in person.
It has to do with authenticity of the leader and being aware that leadership is not only the CEO or the general manager or the director of the company. The leader is every single person who has one person in a team or two people in the team. So leadership is about team leading, and it's not about having a title of the position. And if we understand it like that, and if the top management understands it like that, then they start to develop leadership on every single level of the company. And that's what creates a culture which we then can translate in to values of the company, into vision and mission of the company. That's my true belief. So we really have to work on building, teaching, educating, but as well creating leadership on every single level from the bottom up. And that's the responsibility of the top management or the top leaders, for them being authentic, but as well providing the opportunity for leaders to develop on every single level of the organization.
How do you help your clients make these difficult decisions they have to make in life and business?
It comes to the person itself. It's so unique because we are individuals. We as individuals, we are so unique, and every single person has another challenge. Usually it starts with call it a big gray cloud of a lot of things like time management, problem solving, risk management. But then at the end of the day, it translates to our own competences with understanding our personality traits and how we use them in a relationship with others. Make it simple, or I translated it into that self-awareness, and how we are able to understand ourselves and then use that in being socially aware, but as well managing the relationships. And for me, it really starts with this self-awareness. And as soon as we get that, then it's much, much easier. What it takes a lot of courage at the end of the day, really, to be able to step out and say, you know what, I would like to talk to a coach. I would like to have a coach because I believe it's important as a leader. Imagine you're already a senior leader, and then you take a coach, which is still, it is known and it is accepted, but there is still a lot of reluctancy in taking that step, really, especially in corporate, because sometimes it feels like you do have to have a shrink, which is completely misunderstood, really, because it's not coaching is not about digging about our past and about our past. Is about creating future opportunities. And as soon as we have the awareness of the individual, then it's much, much easier to work there. And of course, the results are also visible much, much quicker.
Right. And speaking of tough decisions and emotions, when someone makes the decision to leave a job and start their own business, how do you help people with that decision?
You know what, usually it's like that Fisher's change curve. You know, you go through all those phases. First of all, okay, I'll transition my career. And then you get in that phase, maybe it's not the right time, maybe the circumstances are not right, maybe I should think about it. What do I have? What do I know? Am I capable to do it? What do I carry? There are two paths how people or how corporate professionals usually do it. Either there is a huge organizational change in the company and they have to leave, or somehow due to the external circumstances, they are forced to leave, not meaning that they are not capable, that they are not successful, that they didn't have the results. Sometimes it's just the circumstances. That's the first one. The second one is the really personal individual decision. Both of them don't have to do anything really with the effectiveness, productivity, and successfulness in the past. But what they do require is the self-assessment of what do I really want for myself in the future. And the key question in both situations is, what do I really want for myself, and what would I enjoy to do in the future? And coming really in the core of that requires mostly somebody, a coach, or maybe a close friend, but friends are always huge support and huge help, but they might be on our side only, and sometimes they're not capable to show or to force us to see the other side of the story. And that's where the career coaching comes in hand very, very strongly, and it's really also helpful and effectful. And what I believe is with that transition of the career is that, at least as we decided, or we are forced to, we have to make that plan, that we create some kind of financial security for ourselves to really be able to focus on business development. Otherwise, we are constantly in that circle of either struggling with financials or struggling with the social economical status. So, and that's the other point. I just add this one, which is very interesting, and which is very often the biggest challenge, is how to deal with our career transition, not to damage our professional image. And that professional image is our deep internal understanding of that, and it doesn't has to do anything with the outside perception, but so often that's the biggest barrier individuals have to overcome. Not to not really to be afraid what people think around them, but to be determined and really decided, I'd love to do it because that's the path I will truly enjoy, and this can then be a dream career.
Yeah, I think people sometimes feel like they're becoming somebody else when they make those changes like that. And I
Absolutely,
think,
absolutely. And they are, just because, but not because in that process of transition, we are dealing with fears and ups and downs and everything, but really because you do become somebody else, because in the sense of not in the sense of really using all experiences, all competences and everything in a completely different way. Mainly or mostly creating your business by serving your clients in the most powerful and most unique and most authentic way.
exactly. Great point. And I think two things that are used a lot are tactics and strategy. So can you tell us the difference between those two and why that's important?
If you have the strategy, then you have that long-term aspirational goal and you are able to see it. And as soon as we have that vision of whom we would like to become and what our future is, then we are able to translate that into tactics. What is the first step, action step we have to take? And usually a lot of people, myself as well, sometimes we don't take enough time to really to build that long-term goal, which we would like to achieve, and really work on the visualization of it. So who will I become? What is there? What is really what I desire? How will it feel? And as soon as we have that, then it's so much easier to work 24/7 on that every single day steps to reach that goal. And that, I believe, it's really important. And that for me is the difference between the strategy and the tactics. But on the other hand, what's really important for leaders, business owners as well, is to understand that the role of the leader, either it is our own life, our business, or a big corporate company, it's always a combination of both. Really, we have to be able to create the vision and then translate it into the tactics, in the sense to enable resources, to enable the environment for people to feel good, but as well to enable our physical and physical health to be able to do all that.
Right. And before we get to our special offer that you're going to give to the viewers, what are some long-term goals for you?
My long term, I have a 5 year and a 10 year goal. In 5 years, I would really like to have my both businesses really working strong and being like independent. I will still desire to be strongly involved in my online business, which requires a person itself, so that front face, because I enjoy it a lot and I believe that it offers a lot of opportunity to scale our business, but as well to impact a lot of clients, which we might not have the opportunity with the face-to-face business. And then the term year goal is really to find the satisfaction in participating in a lot of like public events where I can share everything what I learned, how it felt with that, and really to support and to encourage people to take those bold steps, to act fast and to be fierce, as my slogan is, and really to not only to live their lives, but live their lives fully in the sense of professional, but as well private. So that's my long-term aspiration.
Great, great. Okay, I'm excited. Tell us about the offer.
Yeah. And the offer is of course about decision making. I created that bundle of a video and the e-workbook where people can download it and really use it as they are in front of a tough, complex, or a very simple decision, but sometimes we can't decide. And it includes 4 techniques of decision making. And it's so useful. My clients really love it because it opens that door sometimes as we feel stuck. And then suddenly we see the opportunities either in the career or in the business.
All right, great. So they just have to click on the link,
Yeah.
right? And it'll take them to that. Okay,
Yeah, they
great.
download it and then it's available for free
Okay.
for a lifetime. So
Okay, super.
and use it, of course, not only download it.
And Simona, what's the best way to for people to get in touch with you?
Either just use my social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn as well. And then I have my YouTube channel, so all the contact details are there. But what I really love the most is to follow me and to find out if the content is valuable, because I love to share content which has value, which offers and gives opportunity for the clients really to gain that self-confidence that they can do it. Not
Right.
only the field of
Right.
a career, but as well business. So
Exactly. Yeah. You've got some good videos on your YouTube channel. So I do encourage people to go there. And sometimes you do live streaming as well. So they
yeah.
need to look out for those and keep tuned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I do Facebook Live as well. And the plan is to cover as well LinkedIn Lives. I believe that it's so important because people can just jump in, ask a question, and they find a solution, or they just find the orientation, which might be a right way to do it. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you've got like 3 workshops coming up. So
Thanks a lot.
really,
Thanks a lot. No, I enjoy it really much, but I always take time for such interviews because, as we share opinions and as we share experiences, it's so important. We don't always have to agree, but at least we can either confirm our opinion or decide that we might change it a little bit. So it's great.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks a lot, Diane, for inviting me. Take care and all the best with your show.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Business Notes. We've been speaking with Simona Spilak, founder of SimonaSpilak.com, an online coaching community. Simona is also a lecturer and a professional speaker. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, bringing you business ideas you can bank on.